struggles?
Well, he has culpability. He's the coach. He's the guy that is being outshined by Billy Donovan. If Billy Donovan had no impact, then we'd just be looking at the players and talking about how, one team is simply better than the other. But when you look at Billy Donovan and the adjustments that he's making, that's when you look at Kerr and say, okay, how are you going to counter that? We go into a lineup and it's Adams and Cantor 1 minute. It's them out and Ibaka in the next. It's Adams next. It's Ibaka's out and what have you. And you just look at what's transpiring. It's Russell Westbrook on Steph Curry. It's Roberson on Steph Curry. You get out to the three. It's Kevin Durant on there. They're switching. 1 minute they're switching. Another thing they're fighting. Another minute they're fighting through picks. They're not switching at all. You're just watching things that manifest itself, that transpire. And it says to you that Billy Donovan is coaching this team, and you just get the impression. And maybe Skip, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but there are a lot of times where I know they showed Steve Kerr just standing up on video and banging, flailing his arms or doing something. But a lot of times you just see Steve Kerr sitting there next to Luke Walton, and he looks as helpless as the players. I remember one time when in Game 3, Oklahoma City's making a run, and you literally could see the players looking over at the bench for help from Steve Kerr. And Steve Kerr just said, just shook his head, no, I can't help you. And I didn't blame him for it, but you are looking for him to do something more than has been done.
I did wonder a couple of times last night when they showed Kerr beside Luke Walton, what was going on in Luke Walton's head. Did he have a quick fix that he would like to try to implement? Obviously, he was the head coach of this team for a while, and he's going to be the head coach in L.A. So I was curious what was going through his mind. But, Stephen A., in the end, I'm not going to be a hypocrite about this. If I had a glaring criticism of Steve Kerr, if I were ready to say he should have done this or he shouldn't have done that, I would blame him. But instead, all I can do at this moment is credit Billy Donovan, and we haven't brought up this name yet, Mo Cheeks, for the job he's done with Russell Westbrook. Did you? I'm sorry, I missed that. But listen, those two together, and Mo was gone for a period this year. Obviously, they've had all kinds of trouble with their assistants, and the tragedy that happened to the other assistant is almost unspeakable. And God bless him and his family. But in this case, Billy Donovan's just turning into a star right before your very eyes at the expense of Steve Kerr. I don't see an answer that's obvious. Steve Kerr can't make Steph Curry make open shots, and he missed 5 open threes. And in the end, the one area I would criticize him for, his team just isn't ready to play on a nightly basis because they are running into an Oklahoma tornado. It is blowing them off the floor. They're getting out-hustled, out-toughed, out-scrapped. And is that his fault? Is there some motivation that's not happening pregame? Are they a little too cool for school? Are they just saying, we got this? Steph's attitude, it's kind of like, I'm cool and you're not. It's just the way they play. That's their RPM. They outskill you, they outshoot you, and all of a sudden, they're just getting out-scrapped here. So, I don't know, is that Steve Kerr's fault? Should he motivate harder?
No, but they were 73-9, and they had to win the last 4 games of the regular season prior to these playoffs. There are people that are going to bring that up. I'm not, because I don't have a problem with what he did. I understand it. But the other side to this, Skip, again, is I'm not saying that he's primarily to blame, but how does he walk away unscathed if it was anybody else? Would they be able to do that? We'd be looking at Billy Donovan, looking at what he's done, and we would say, Steve Kerr, what answer do you have for this? And, oh, by the way, you gave up 42 points in the second quarter. The other night you gave up 38 in the second quarter and 45 in the third quarter. No, you can't help Steph Curry and them make shots. But where's your defense?
Yep.
He has nothing to do with that?
Agreed.
Game 5 tomorrow in Oakland. And talk about walking away unscathed. That didn't happen for the team Stephen A. claims. Le'Veon Bell hasn't forgotten where his season came to an end. You want to stick around to hear what he is saying now about the Bengals. That's next.